Hey everybody, I'm Vera Stewart and welcome to the VeryVera show. I'm so excited today to have two very special guests with me, two people that joined me 5 years ago on the very first season of the show, the third episode that we did. I was so excited about camp, and I thought I'm going to bring in two of my favorite campers. So I've asked them to come back to celebrate 5 years of the show, and we're going to do some fun things today.
Well, Miss Vera, what are we going to be doing today?
Well, you know, we're getting ready for camp again, and I thought let's introduce some of the recipes that we're going to do at camp this summer with two former campers. So we're going to work on two blueberry recipes. We're going to do one that's simple, and then we're going to do one that's a little bit more graduated. Then we're going to do two pancake recipes, one simple, one a little bit more graduated, and then we're going to introduce the theme for camp and show you how we're going to present it at the end. So I'm going to ask you, Elizabeth, to maybe get started setting up for the next part when we do the fancy blueberry muffin. And Sanford, you and me are going to get started on the more simple recipe that we do with the 8 and 10-year-olds. So you go get started, and we'll get started. So what we did here, Sanford, we went ahead before the show and kind of got the butter creaming, so I'm going to let you get started with that. And this is just butter and sugar. And, you know, this time of year, every guy loves a blueberry muffin, right?
Yes, ma'am.
I mean, that was one thing that I knew I could count on. My children were going to always eat a blueberry muffin. So we've just creamed a stick of butter and some sugar together. And now I'm going to start adding in 2 whole eggs. And when we do this, I love to go ahead and crack them, Sanford, in the measuring cup.
Yes, ma'am.
And then you can just not have to worry about cracking eggs while you're doing this. Well, kind of tell me why that's blended around. I mean, obviously, 5 years ago, you were not this tall. But when you were 8, honestly, Sanford, you could not see over the kitchen table.
No, ma'am.
So what are you doing now?
Well, this year I played football, and I played linebacker, and we won state in football.
What?
Yes,
okay, so you are a junior
yes,
at Wardlaw Academy in Edgefield.
Yes, ma'am.
Right? And you won the state championship?
Yes, ma'am. I made all state and all region. And remember how you said I was going to be a politician?
Yes, I did.
Well,
I said you were going to be a senator.
Yes, ma'am. Well, I'm actually the vice president of the student government at my school.
Y'all, I knew this when he was 8 years old. Honestly,
she called it.
And we've added some vanilla and some salt and some baking soda, and I'm going to start on the flour. He stood up to give his introduction, and I took one look at this kid that could hardly see over the table, and I said, you're going to be a senator one day.
She did.
So I am so proud. So you're playing football, you're in student government.
I'm playing basketball as well.
Wow.
But the season just ended. So we had a pretty good season, and now I'm getting ready for next year's football season.
Well, you know, what was it, Sanford, about camp? Because obviously you've got a lot of varied interests. What was it about being part of our camping program that you wanted to do, and why are you glad you did it?
Well, I just think the camp can make anyone a well-rounded person. It makes improves your manners, and it taught me how to set a table, and just made me a more sociable person. And the people I got to meet there were great people, and I remember them still today.
Well, we've been going through some of the old pictures, and actually we're going to turn that mixer off now and start doing some of this with just a spatula. So I'll take that away from you, and we can just start moving that around. You know, one of the things that we've started doing right now is, you know, we're getting ready, you know, for camp and just introducing it to young people. And people say all the time, well, do the guys like camp? And I thought, well, you liked it so much, you were camper of the week.
Yes, ma'am.
So we're alternating the flour and the cream here, the milk, the whole milk. And this time of year, blueberries are just crazy big and great. And these I picked up at the fresh market. And you hardly had to even pick any of the stems out of them. Okay, you're doing a really good job with that. So we're going to add the rest of that in. Alrighty. And then I'm going to start putting the blueberries in it. That's going to really make it good. And while you're stirring those around, we're going to introduce the topping that's going to go on it, which is nutmeg and sugar. And then after you get that mixed up, we'll come back with this ice cream scoop, and we're just gonna scoop this out into the prepared pans. It makes 18. So come back with us in just a few minutes. We're gonna get started on the gourmet version of this. I'm also gonna introduce a contest that's fantastic. So come back with us in just a few minutes. Welcome back, everybody, and if you're just joining us, I'm with two of my former campers, Sanford, Satcher, and Elizabeth Pipkin, and I'm so glad to have both of you with us today. And while we were away during the break, Sanford and I were really busy on that blueberry muffin recipe. We got them scooped into each of the little muffin cups, and then you came back and put the topping on.
Yes, ma'am.
And then we've got them in a convection oven at 375 for about 20 to 25 minutes. So the next recipe that we're gonna do is pancakes, and I'm gonna actually ask you, Sanford, if you'll walk down and start getting that together. Sure. Then I'm gonna work with Miss Pipkin for a few minutes. Elizabeth and I have actually been together for quite a long time. So we're gonna get started on the advanced version of the blueberry recipe.
Okay.
This is what we're gonna do with the 11 to 14-year-olds this summer. Okay. So why don't we get started? We went ahead and creamed sugar and butter, so I'm gonna let you continue that, and then we are making a secret ingredient, Elizabeth, to make these really quite the gourmet. So she's creaming the stick of butter and sugar just like Sanford did. The secret ingredient, Elizabeth, is lavender.
That smells really good.
I know it. It's going to be great. And you know, you can pick this up at the fresh market. At the end of the aisle where all the seasonings are, the fresh lavender is there, and it really lasts for quite a long time. You can also put it in your drawers and make them smell good. All right, so we're going to combine that. I'm going to add in the egg yolk. And if you put them in the measuring cup like this, remember we did that at camp, then you don't have to worry about cracking eggs while you're doing that. So we've got that. We've got a little bit of vanilla extract, some salt, well, and baking powder. All right. So while this is getting stirred about, why don't you catch us up? I know you are a sophomore
at
Augusta
Prep.
So tell us what you're up to.
So I've been very busy with school lately. We are doing the musical Footloose right now at Augusta Prep, and so
we're going to turn that mixer off and start on the hand part. I'll take that away from you. Okay, so you're doing the musical.
Yes, ma'am. And then I'm also working for you right now, so I've been enjoying that.
Okay, so in the afternoons, one afternoon a week, Elizabeth comes in, and we have a list a mile long, don't we?
Yes, ma'am.
Of things that she's going to do in the afternoon, filing, you know, maybe helping with the prep for the show. But you know, Elizabeth, tell them about the letter you wrote me that summer after having been a camper for about 3 years.
So after I was a camper and I aged out of VeryVera, I really wanted to come back somehow and help with like however I could. And so I wrote her a letter and asked her if I could just come help out with the camp. And so she let me come that summer, and I worked for 1 week during the summer for the beginners. And I just loved it so much, and I've been working there ever since.
Yeah, she came back. Well, she's being modest because this is quite the entrepreneur right here. What she did was she created what is now called the Junior Counselor program in our company, because she reached out to me unbeknown to her parents that she wanted to come work for me, and she wasn't old enough to work. So I thought, well, she can be a junior counselor, because I was so impressed with your ability to recognize that you wanted to move forward with something that you loved. So, you know, camp really creates those opportunities. What do you feel like you've most gained from your experience doing that?
Oh gosh, I've become so much more responsible, just like learning how to work for somebody, and I know that I'm going to be so prepared when I go out into like the real world to work, and I've learned so much about myself, and I've become more confident, and I've just loved it.
All right, so we've got all this flour we need to get in here. So I'm going to pour the rest of that in. Then we've got those same blueberries that we're going to do from the fresh market, nice and plump. And then the difference in this recipe, Elizabeth, is it does a strudel topping. We're also doing these in a much larger muffin cup. And instead of having the muffin little holders, we're just cutting out parchment paper. So what we'll do during the break is we will get that finished, get the strudel mixed together and get those in and get those in the oven. And when we come back, we're gonna get started on, we're gonna have dueling pancakes going on the counters between Elizabeth and Sanford. So come back with us in just a minute for some more fun recipes.
Vera's Corner is brought to you by Jeff's Sewing and Vacuum.
Calling all young chefs, have you ever thought about having your own cooking show? Do you love to show off your cooking skills? Well, I've got a contest for you. I am so pleased to announce our Star Student Contest. We're partnering with Blue Apron to send 75 boxes to young fans of the VeryVera show between the ages of 6 and 18. From there, it's your turn to show us your skills by making a cooking show with one of the recipes from the Blue Apron box. Send in your video before the deadline and we will vote on our 3 favorites. Then the top 3 will be posted to our Facebook page where the VeryVera show fans will vote for their favorite. The winner will be announced during the last episode of the season, airing May 25th through the 28th. The grand prize winner will receive a KitchenAid stand mixer and a $30 Blue Apron gift card. The 5 runners-up will also receive $30 Blue Apron gift cards. I want to thank our friends at Blue Apron for partnering with us on this contest and for supporting something I love, getting young people in the kitchen. Be sure to visit our Facebook page for all the details and don't miss out on this amazing opportunity. I can't wait to see your videos. Welcome back, everybody, and we are getting ready to have a pancake cook-off, absolutely. But we were really busy during the break. Elizabeth and I finished the gourmet muffin, and Elizabeth, you got those scooped into the prepared pans. I made a strudel to go on top, and basically the strudel was butter and flour that was softened and creamed together, added in sugar, salt, brown sugar, cinnamon, and a little bit of almond. Put that on the top, and those are in the oven now. They just smell fantastic. So now we're going to do 2 more recipes from camp. This time, Sanford, I'm going to let you do the advanced pancake, and Elizabeth is going to do the primary, the primer pancake. And what we've gone ahead and done was both of them have sifted their flour. They've added in their salt, their sugar, and their baking powder into the sifter. And you know, the sifting actually incorporates more air. And basically, these are ingredients that you already have at home. So there should be no need for pancake mix anymore. No cheating with pancakes. So we're going to get started now on the 2 different types. So Elizabeth and hers, she's made a well because she's going to create a space for all of her liquid ingredients to go in. And you are going to get started mixing your ingredients together. So you go ahead and get started there. And I'll tell the audience a little bit of difference between these 2 recipes. Elizabeth's primary recipe is really great with the 8 and 10-year-olds because they learn how to dry measure, they learn how to liquid measure, the difference in those cups. They learn a little bit about going slowly when you're pouring the milk and how to keep lumps from getting in the batter and how you have to take your time and be patient, which are all things that maybe are a little difficult to do with 8 and 10-year-olds. What do you think, Elizabeth?
Yes, I am.
All right, so you do it slowly. Sanford, these children are going to be 11 to 14-year-olds, and they have not been to cooking camp before, but their recipes take the same recipe and add some steps in that they're able to comprehend a little bit better. They're taller, they're wiser, and we can get a little bit creative. So you have combined your liquid ingredients together. And what we did ahead for Sanford was that we separated the egg. We whipped the egg whites because you're going to use that folding technique. Do you remember that from camp? And this makes this go really fast. So are you almost ready for me to use your batter, Elizabeth?
Almost.
So I have got my electric griddle prepared at about a medium heat, which would be about 300 degrees. I'm going to add a little butter to the top of that. Just to then this pan really is such that you don't have to prepare it at all, but I am going to just put a little bit of butter on there to go. and get these ready. And then I'm going to show you a technique on how to make sure that the pancake stays kind of in a good shape. So if you're ready for me, I'm going to go ahead with your batter.
Okay.
That looks great. And we're going to take a 1/4 cup measurer, and you just want to go slow, and then it kind of takes form because the griddle is hot. And with the 8 and 10-year-olds, they learn how to make medallions. They make the little tiny pancakes. Okay, so I'm going to leave enough room to put, okay, so now Sanford's over there folding the egg white in to the batter, which is preparing those to be very light and fluffy. So Elizabeth's, they do as breakfast food, and Sanford's recipe, they do as breakfast or brunch, and actually entree pancakes. So let me see if I can get one of those on real quick before we go to break. But you see the difference in this nice fluffy batter. I'm going to make this one a little bit bigger because we can stuff it. So we're going to cook these, and when we come back from the break, we're going to have a road trip diner party with all the recipes that we've done today, which is the theme for our camp. So come back with us in just a few minutes, and I'm also going to tell you about the contest that your young person can enter. So come back with us. Great job, you guys. Welcome back, everybody, and you are now in the VeryVera Diner. And I know for some of you, you're thinking the VeryVera Cafe from years ago, but we've created quite a happy place here. And this is what we're going to be doing this summer with camp, with our beginner 8 to 10-year-olds and our advanced beginner 11 to 14-year-olds. Their theme for camp is road trip diner style. So we're pulling off the whole diner look for everything. So let's talk a little bit about what we did today. Your muffins turned out really well, Sanford. I just think they look great, really delicious. And then we popped it up a notch for the 11 and 14-year-olds with the gourmet version of this. And you know, when we do these camps, I know y'all used to love the invitations and the favors. So for this particular one, we've got a really cute invitation that's actually a suitcase that they're going to take home. They get to invite one adult guest to come to their banquet on Friday, which is the presentation that you're looking at. Then we also do favors, and we're going to put the muffins in some really great packaging so they learn a little bit about entrepreneurship, they learn a little bit about theme presentation and how to depict that in the way things look and the way things taste. So this looks really great. In terms of presentation, table setting, table manners, and I never had to go over table manners with these two, but we've got the pre-beginner or the beginner, the early ones, just having a breakfast food that just looks great. We're putting it on a plate with bacon and fruit, so you've got the complete package on, you know, what you want to serve for a meal. And then on the advanced group, we're stacking it up. We're really making it look fantastic. So we've taken those fluffy pancakes and we've made actually a BLT with pancakes. So I'm really excited the way that that looks. I can't wait for both of you to taste the difference between these two pancakes. So it is phenomenal. But that's basically spinach, tomato, the egg. So we're learning about the basic 5 food groups. There's so many things that you're learning about. We're looking at a child's version of your favorite drink, a chocolate milkshake. And then for the adults that might drink that, we've got a mock mimosa that we did with some sparkling grape juice. So both turned out really great, using some of the baked goods for part of the centerpiece and maybe putting the menu on the table. That makes everybody excited about what they're going to have. All right, so entrepreneurship, packaging, getting along with people that you've never met before. Do you feel like all of these are things that you learned?
Yes, ma'am.
When you were in
Without
camp?
a doubt.
Oh, and you know, and they're well on their way to, you know, moving forward in both of their high school careers and college coming up. So let me make another great big announcement. I'm really excited to announce that Augusta is now not only the only place that you can have camp. Our first franchise location has been announced in Columbus, Georgia. It's going to be hosted by Epic Restaurant, and I'm so excited that my good friend and owner, Jamie Keating at Epic, has taken my first franchise. Registration is now open in Columbus, Georgia for that location, so go to our website at VeryVeraCamp.com for more details. We hope soon to be announcing locations in Macon and in Aiken, so tune in for that. I want you to check out the student contest on our Facebook page, and then certainly I want you to follow us on Facebook and Instagram because it's always something going on. So no matter what you do, do it in good taste. I know for me, I'm going to keep up with these two because I'm so proud of them, and I hope you'll come back and join me next week for another episode of the Very Vera Show.